Good morning, everybody. So a little housekeeping here. When I say be fair, what do we say? We say be fair? Absolutely. My name is Jack Campbell, and I am the Executive Director at the ARC of Madison Cortland. And I want to welcome everybody today to our bFair2DirectCare rally. I want to welcome our legislators that are here and their representatives. And I'm going to turn the mic immediately over to Ellen.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Jack, and thanks to all of you for coming out this morning. I want to give a special thank you to Paul Fisselbrand, who was providing assistance this morning in handing out pins and stickers. So thank you, Paul. ARC of Onondaga and the ARC of Madison Cortland have been providing supports and services to people with developmental disabilities and their families for over 50 years. Together, we employ over 1,000 people, more than 600 of whom are direct support professionals. Those direct support professionals spend their days, their evenings, their nights, and their weekends assisting people in leading full, inclusive lives. We're joined today by people from the ARC of Oneida Lewis, as well as other local agencies, including Arise, Community Options, Home Incorporated, EFR, and Toomey Residential and Community Services. All of our agencies depend on government funding. Our ability to pay our staff a living wage relies on that funding. The work done by our direct support professionals is critical. It enables the people that they support to live meaningful, productive lives. Direct support professionals are the backbone of our service delivery system, and we simply could not do what we do without them. The demands of their job far exceed the wages that we are able to pay them. We need Governor Cuomo to include money in the state budget to enable us to pay a living wage to DSPs. We need Governor Cuomo to be fair. You're up.
Thank you, Ellen. The issue is we need a living wage for people that provide direct support services to all of the folks that are in this room and across the state. A fair wage means not $15 an hour for somebody working in fast food. That may be a fair wage for them, but it's not a fair wage for the people in this room. And it's not a fair wage for the people who have to work the hours that Ellen just described. I'm an old guy. I've been around for 40 plus years, and I remember the days when we went to the Capitol to advocate for funding just to support a program. We won 25 years ago. We won 2 years ago. And we're going to win again. What we need this governor to do is not wait until the 11th hour like he did 2 years ago to include the $49 million that we're requesting for direct support professionals. We're in a period right now where we have to advocate, send letters, send postcards, make phone calls. We have allies in the Assembly. We have allies in the Senate. I'm not sure the governor right now is our ally, and we need to make sure he hears us loud and clear. Be fair. Ellen?
Thank you, Jack. We have a number of elected officials with us here today, many of whom want to say a few words. It's my pleasure to introduce Ryan McMahon, who is the Onondaga County Executive and whose building we are honored to be able to be in today.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you for being here in Memorial Hall in Onondaga County. For those of you who are not from Onondaga County, welcome. And it's nice that we're in this beautiful room. As you know, many of our veterans that when their service duty is over come back and they too have disabilities and they too need help. And we're an inclusive county. We think differently when it comes to our disabilities community, and we recognize the work that all of you do and the role you play in our human service delivery. In county government, we're at ground zero for human services. We're at ground zero to address issues in our community, inclusive issues, poverty issues, and we need partners, and ARC of Onondaga is a tremendous partner. I'm so pleased that we're here today advocating, and we have Assemblyman Sturpey here, we have Senator Antonacci here, we have representatives from Senator May. It's great seeing our partners at the state legislature locally here. We're all speaking in one voice. As county executive, I get to be your lobbyist too. I get to speak for you in Albany, in Washington, D.C., and I'm very happy to do that, and I'll be signing one of these later today, sending a message to Governor Cuomo to be fair, and I appreciate all of your advocacy. Keep it up. God bless all of you.
We have a last-minute ad and a very pleasant last-minute ad with Senator Antonacci, who would like to say a few words.
Thank you, everyone. I apologize. I'm running out. Keep him in your prayers today. Bishop Costello's funeral is today, right down the street, so that's where I'll be running to. But I know that he was a kind man, and he would advocate for this cause as much as anyone. You have a lot of people advocating for you. We're hearing your voices in Albany. It's a pleasure to work with Assemblyman Sturpey, County Executive McMahon, and Senator May. But when County Executive was up, he said, "Be fair," and I didn't hear the direct care. So one more time, be fair. Okay. Everyone's got my cell phone number. Everyone has we have your back. Deb Cody's with my office. She'll be sticking around. Anything you need, you let us know. And I'm sure we'll see you down in Albany in the very near future. Thank you.
Be fair. That doesn't get old. I'd like to introduce to you now a representative from Senator May's office, Nitisha Hernandez, and hopefully she will say some kind words, not about me.
Hello, everyone. I would like to say on the behalf of our office, we truly understand that there is a need to increase pay for direct care workers. We hear every day from our constituents who have benefited from the support of workers who have provided direct care to them. Senator May is a strong supporter of direct care workers, and she will continue to advocate for increased pay in the budget negotiations. Direct care workers deserve adequate compensation for the hard and important work that they do. And we would also like to say, we truly understand. For 17 years before I worked for Senator Rachel May, I was a teacher assistant with the Syracuse City School District. I worked in special education for 17 years, and I understand what it means to work hard and work from paycheck to paycheck. So we truly understand that there is a need to increase direct care for workers.
So I think Jack and I are taking turns here, so let's hear it. bFair. No, it needs to be louder. Louder than you did for Jack. bFair. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Assemblyman Al Sturpey, who has been a longtime friend and supporter to the people who work in our field and to the people who receive our services.
Good morning, and thank you for hosting this once again. I don't know how many of you people this past October, November, during the campaign got to view a short commercial I did. It was a takeoff on the movie Groundhog Day. Well, I tell you, I feel like it's Groundhog Day again. Here we are, begging again for the cost of living increases and the other funding we need to try to help catch up direct care people from 7 or 8 years of no increases. You've had 14% of the jobs for direct care go unfilled, can't find people. You have over 26% turnover on these jobs because they can make a lot more money doing things that are a lot easier. These jobs are not easy jobs, and they're our most vulnerable citizens. So we have to convince Governor Cuomo that there are things more important than economic development. Maybe he can take a little bit of that money and move it over and make sure that we fulfill the 5-year plan for increases in wages for direct care people. So, you know, I understand this issue. I've lived this issue. My stepdaughter Jessica's back there someplace. There she is. We've gone through 20+ years of trying to get home care, having to drive our home care days and hours. We'd have to drive, you know, 12 miles into the city, pick somebody up because they didn't make enough money to buy a car, and there was no public transportation that went out to our area. So we would drive in, we'd pick somebody up, we'd bring them out, and they'd work there for 4 or 5 hours, and then we'd drive in and pick up the second shift, come back, take the person who worked the first shift, get them in the car, drive them back home. So we spent a lot of our day that was respite actually driving people around because they just didn't make enough money to be able to provide their own transportation. So I just want to say that I understand this issue very deeply. I talk about it all the time. In our conference, we have probably 8 or 9 people who either have children or siblings who have disabilities and need these services. So you do have a loud voice in the Assembly Majority Conference that's going to push and make sure that before this is all over, there's funding returned to these direct care workers. So keep fighting, keep writing, keep calling. We need you to help us convince the governor. Thank you.
Thank you, Assemblyman. And it is my great pleasure right now to introduce Paul Jubis, who is a direct support professional. bFair.
Thank you for that introduction, Jack. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for being here and fighting for us. It means the world to us DSPs. It really does. And I got a little speech here that's prepared by the residential DSP staff at the Wampsville House. Again, my name is Paul Jubis, and I'm here representing the working staff at one of the group homes at the Arc of Madison Cortland, many of them actually. As direct care providers, we are accountable for the individuals in our home to stay safe, clean, healthy, and happy. But more than that, we've become second families, with majorities of us spending more time with them than our families at home. And we are here because we love what we do. And sadly, reality sets in, and we realize we have to make a choice because we have to make a decent wage to care for our families. Since this is not the case at this time, there are large amounts of turnover, people having to look elsewhere to provide enough income to survive. This leaves the individuals we serve with shattered relationships, no fault of their own. Existing staff is currently working long hours due to the lack of qualified help. Please consider our plea for direct fare increases so we can continue to do the job for the individuals we support and we have come to know and love. Sincerely, all the direct support professionals throughout all the counties of New York.
Thank you, Paul, and I couldn't have said it better. And it is now, again, my great pleasure and honor to introduce another direct support professional, manager at one of our IRAs in Madison, Judson Chandler. And before Judson comes up here, be fair.
Good morning. Thank you, everyone, for coming. My name is Judson Chandler. I've been with the ARC of Madison Cortland for almost 8 years now. I started as an awake overnight at one of our IRAs and progressed to management through time.
Just a little closer.
The factors in time and knowledge have led me to the conclusion that many people that work for non-for-profit agencies often work long hours and many days with minimal compensation. The bFair2DirectCare campaign has led our field in a great direction. It allows people to have a living wage and provides an incentive for work in our field, or to work in our field. Just over the last 2 years, bFair2DirectCare was implemented. I can see the difference between, but we still need to work further in this field. Our governor agreed to fund this campaign because he saw something that needed to be done. The work has only begun, and we need to come together to show that this is not just a number in a budget, but rather human lives at risk. Staff turnover is a huge issue. Paying DSPs higher wages would allow people to stay at their jobs. The wages that direct care professionals are paid would be considered an entry-level job, but the knowledge, responsibility, and hard work that goes into the position makes it far more than an entry-level job. It's a career and it takes time and training to become a great DSP. People want to work hard and get paid for their hard work. That's part of the American dream. Staff turnover not only affects the team, but it affects the residents. It's very painful for the people we support to lose their staff. DSPs become family to the people that we care for, and the people that are the DSPs gain another family. They take care of people 24/7 and make sure every aspect of their basic needs are met. Whether it's 89 degrees and sunny or 20 degrees below and snowing, DSPs are there for making sure basic needs are met. Taking care of everything that needs to be done to keep people happy and safe. There are many benefits to being a DSP. You can see people learn and grow. Some of the best times of my life have been working with people with disabilities. A direct support staff is not a fast food worker. They have people's lives in their hands. Governor Andrew Cuomo needs to see the risk of people being mandated to work long hours due to lack of staffing. He needs to keep his promise and add the $55 million to this year's and next year's budget. bFair2DirectCare needs to be funded because we need to keep people safe, happy, and healthy. Thank you.
I'd like to ask Monique Powell to come up, but before she does, we need to be louder than Jack's cheer. Be fair. Monique Powell has worked for the Arc of Onondaga for just about a year and works in one of our residential programs.
My name is Monique Powell. I have been a DSP at Arc of Onondaga for a little over a year. Before that, I worked as a certified nursing assistant at a local nursing home. I work at a residence on Teal Avenue where I work with 4 individuals, or as I like to call them, my guys. The best part of my job is seeing my guys happy. Nearly every day when I'm at work, the people I support take the time to thank me, which makes me feel appreciated. I enjoy the interaction and feel that I make a positive difference in their lives. I think they feel like I spoil them. I cook for them and they are grateful to have a home-cooked meal. After just a year of working in their home, I know their likes and dislikes. One of my guys had never tried iced coffee before, and now he loves it. Another used to need someone to make his lunch for him, but after working with him, he now can make his own lunch. Staffing is an ongoing challenge. Some of my coworkers have had to leave to go make more money at other jobs. I work 12-hour days and often will take on additional shifts over the weekends, etc., to ensure that there are enough staff in the house, but also because without overtime, I probably wouldn't be able to afford to stay in this job. I know my guys and how much support they need. During times when I am the only staff working, this limits what the guys can do. For the sake of their happiness and safety, I hope that Governor Cuomo will provide funding so that DSPs who love their jobs, like me, will be able to make a living doing what they love, work that is truly needed. Thank you.
Very nicely done. It is my great pleasure now to introduce somebody near and dear to my heart, Michelle Wolf, who, come on up, Michelle, who is the president of the Madison Motivators. And if I could just take 1 second to share something that I did yesterday, it was kind of a joke, but we had Assemblyman Brindisi come to our chapter yesterday to tour and whatnot, and Michelle was there. And on our annual report brochure, there's a picture of Michelle standing next to Governor Cuomo when he announced 2 years ago the bFair2DirectCare. What the picture doesn't show when Michelle was sitting there was she had Governor Cuomo's arm up behind his back. So he added $10 million more. Michelle?
Thank you. Hi, my name is Michelle Wolf, and March 11th is my 6-year work anniversary at Community Bank in Oneida, New York. This is the longest that I have been at any job. And yes, I do still enjoy working. In fact, I love working, and everyone at the bank is like my family. I have been very fortunate to have the same 4 DSP staff with me that I have had for 3 years. I have a great relationship with them, but there are other individuals who don't have that with their staff because their staff have to leave due to low wages. We need to fight for the bFair2DirectCare campaign because people are suffering. I can tell you what having good DSPs can do to help someone with disabilities like me. They can help us achieve our goals. I have experienced many accomplishments. My DSP, Tammy, took time out of her busy Saturdays to take me out to practice driving. She even let me use her car for the road test for my driver's license, and I passed it on the first time. I got my license, and I was so proud of myself, and I couldn't wait to buy a new car. I saved money by working 2 jobs and had enough to go car shopping. One of my DSPs, Ralph, took me shopping, and it took a while, but we finally found the right car. I don't give up on my goals, and I don't let my disability get in the way of what I'm striving for. My future goal is to buy my own house. It is hard to believe that I come such a long way. When I met Robin Collins, my first Medicaid service coordinator, I was homeless, and I didn't make eye contact, and I didn't speak much at all. It was staff and other self-advocates who helped me come out of my shell. I had the very best circle of supports. The work of DSPs is so important for individuals with disabilities because many people need 24-hour care. They work hard to make sure people are happy and taken care of. They also help people live more independent lives and achieve goals that they want to achieve, just like me. I would like to add that there are more members of the Madison County Motivators, a self-advocacy group that have intellectual disabilities that have the same goals that I have, but they are lacking the funds for their DSPs. So I asked Governor Cuomo, will you please put more money in the budget for DSPs? Because we can't afford to lose them. Our lives depend on it. We must continue to fight for bFair2DirectCare.
Thank you, Michelle, and for the sake of, I don't mean to say this to embarrass you because it's a compliment, but when you have the kind of continuity that Michelle has had over the past few years with her DSPs, you can see what actually happens and the kind of successes that an individual can achieve. It is now my great pleasure to introduce Andrew Lohman from the Arc of Oneida Lewis. And Andrew has history with both the Arc of Madison Cortland and the Arc of Oneida Lewis.
Hello, everyone. My name is Andrew Lohman, and I'm a graduate of College Works program at the Arc Oneida Lewis. Over my 2 years in the program, I have been able to meet some incredible staff. Brooke Burrows is just one of them. She has helped me work on budgeting, life skills, and how to be a college student. I would not be here today without her help. Kayla Pierre is the other great staff, even though she's new at the Arc. She has taken the time to get to know me, and it's very nice. We are lucky to have her. Bill is my buddy. Sometimes he takes me to hockey games and is a fun guy to hang around with. He keeps me on my toes by teaching me how to do chores and stay organized. I like to think of him as my dad away from home. Miss Pat and Miss Terry are the other greatest teachers I have even had. They worked with me in the literacy class, and now I love to read on my own. They are more than just teachers to me. They are like my family. The staff at College Works helped me get internships and volunteer experience, which are helping me to get a job in retail. I don't know where I'll be without my staff. They are really dedicated to their jobs. Every time I have questions or need help, they are there for me. We need to be there for them. I have to tell you about the greatest staff who are still helping me today, but I haven't mentioned the staff who have left. It makes me sad that some of my favorite people are no longer at the ARC. I got to know them and they have to leave to get other jobs. I wish they could have stayed to see me graduate. I want to speak to Governor Cuomo for a second. Please help our staff so we can keep them at the ARC. It hurts me when I must say goodbye to someone that I really like. It takes time to get to know new people, and it feels like they're coming and going fast ever. Governor, don't you think it's important to have the best people working at the ARC? You can help us imagine for all my classmates and people I know at the ARC. We need you to be fair to direct care. Before I go, I just want to tell you all that I'm a huge hockey fan. In fact, I know we're in Syracuse, but I am going to say it anyways. I love the Yucca Comets, but my favorite team is the team of people who support me at the ARC Oneida Lewis, and I need you to cheer for them like you cheering for your favorite team. Thank you for your time.
Our next speaker brings a unique perspective, I think, to this podium. Dr. Susan Sharoon is a professor of psychology at Lemoyne. She serves as a consultant to any number of agencies in Onondaga County and the surrounding areas. We are fortunate enough at ARC of Onondaga to have her on our board, and she is a family member, having a sister with a disability. Susan.
Thank you all. I'm very honored to be here. Very honored to see such a great crowd of individuals. I'm really, I really want to emphasize probably my greatest strength is not being a professor or even having worked in the system. It's having a sibling, a sister who has a disability. It has really helped me to understand more than ever how important the direct care staff are. So let me first say I want to thank all the DSPs, those who are here today, those who could not come, but those who get up every day, they suit up, they show up, and take care of people with disabilities. I'm here today because we are facing a crisis of care and human services. I'm not here as an employee or an administrator. I'm here as a concerned family member of a vulnerable person. I'm deeply concerned about what I see happening. My sister has Down syndrome, and she is an insulin-dependent diabetic. She fortunately resides in a residential program where she receives excellent care from very dedicated caregivers. Thanks to them, she has independence. And thanks to them, she has a life well lived. Her caregivers are like her family, and I'm so appreciative of that relationship. My advocacy today is for them. I'm here today to support raising the wages of our dedicated human service workers to that which is considered simply a living wage. When I look at how important their work is and how challenging it can be, I question, why are we paying these direct support professionals so little to do such an important job? I am a professor and a former administrator of a large residential team. I recently researched how much it costs us as taxpayers to continue this practice of underpaying our workforce. The cost of underpaying people to do this type of work is extensive. The turnover rate of direct care support professionals is alarming. People are leaving the field, not because they want to, but because they can't afford to stay. This has heavily affected the quality of care of the people that we serve, people like my sister. My sister loses a caregiver. She loses not just a staff, she loses a friend, and she loses another family member. In order for people with disabilities to have quality care, the caregivers must know who they are and be able to address their wants and needs. We've heard that time and again from each individual with a disability who stood up here. By doing this, they not only disrupt somebody's physical care, but by leaving, they disrupt their emotional and psychological care. We are penny wise and pound foolish if we continue this approach. The financial cost of recruiting, training new staff is a huge drain on the budgets of service providers. The time and energy that is wasted by this practice is simply cost ineffective. We talk about government becoming more efficient. We talk about government being efficient, making sense. Not paying a workforce a living wage is not efficient. It makes no sense to continue to hire someone, train them, and then lose them to a job like the service industry because the person cannot afford to live on the wages that we are offering them. This practice demands that we ask this question: do we value the people that are being served by these agencies enough to pay their caregivers what they're worth? There is no job more important in our society than giving care to another human being. Our people with disabilities, thank you. Are people with disabilities less important that their caregivers are not paid to living wage? With the stock market at record heights and corporate America reaping profits, the likes of which we have never seen, why are we treating people willing to care for our most vulnerable people so poorly? We have created a system where if you work in human service, you are the working poor. We need to stop this practice immediately. Governor Cuomo, thank you. Governor Cuomo, I heard your State of the State address, and I praise the efforts that you have made to talk about the inequities of employment that exist in our state and issues of social justice and actually doing something about them. This crisis is no less important than the issue of gender and racial pay inequities, because our workforce also disproportionately hires females and people of color. Governor Cuomo and all members of state government, I beg you to raise the wages of the direct support professionals so they too can feel proud of their jobs and only need to work one job, not two, not three, just to make ends meet. Please make these changes. Governor Cuomo, please make these changes now. It is the morally right thing to do, and it is fiscally responsible. Thank you.
So thank you to Susan and everyone else who spoke today, talking from your hearts about the importance of this cause. Thank you also to the families and board members from the chapters that I've seen here today for taking time out of your day to come, again, support the people that do the work supporting your family member. So what can we do now? We can vote, but we've already voted. Postcards. We have postcards for everyone to take. Put a stamp on them and send them to the governor. Tell the governor that we need to be fair. No, louder, one more time. Loud enough to hear it in Albany. So thank you all for coming today. I want to introduce Beth Legier, who is the Associate Executive Director for Governmental Affairs for the ARC New York, who will close it out.
I think it's afternoon, right? Is it good afternoon? How's everybody feeling today? So I want to say this is my third rally that I participated in, and every time I get more excited because I hear more stories. And I've been in this job a short 8 months, but I feel really passionate about this work. But you are the story. You are all the people that are going to drive the change, and we have an opportunity to seize and talk to the governor, and we have elected officials here who are our champions, who are doing what? Be fair to direct care. 2 years ago, bFair2DirectCare started, and we have grown into self-advocates, DSPs, a huge coalition. We have 11 members, other agencies across the state that are now participating on a regular basis. We have 3 things to do. 3 calls to action to close this out. 1, sign your postcard. There are postcards up here. Please be sure. Elected officials, pay attention. I know that you can probably say this better than I can. Phone calls. Put phone calls into your elected officials. You have so many champions standing here with you today and around the rest of the state that really feel passionate about this work. Postcards, obviously. The third and last thing is we have a march, a rally in Albany on March 25th. Details will be coming out. We're looking for 1,000 people to storm the halls of the Capitol and make our voices heard. DSPs, everybody is welcome. All I can say is, I can't say it any better than all these folks, but I think we need another rally and another chant of Be Fair to Direct Care. So what do we want? I'm sorry, what? The one last thing I will say, there's the last call to action. Governor Andrew Cuomo, you have an opportunity to be a hero for this workforce, for the individuals who get services, supports, and cares every single day. This is the right thing to do. It's the moral obligation, and you have an opportunity to make it happen.